Bonjour Peter.
Bonjour, Laurent.
Peter Gade. Thank you for answering our request to for this interview. I don't know if it's up to us to present you, but you are a great champion and you were the world number one for many years, and also a former performance director at the French Federation. First question: how do you feel now?
First of all, thank you for the nice words, and it's a pleasure for me to keep in touch with French badminton. You know, that's important for me, so that's really nice. I'm fine. Of course, right now, in the exact moment, with everything going on with the corona crisis everywhere in the world, things could be better. And I'm sure I join many badminton players and coaches and clubs and fans all over the world to say that we want to go back to court as soon as possible. But that's not the case. That's not the case right now. So this is a very special scenario, and I just hope for our sport that the big occasions, like the Olympics, like the World Championships team event, all of these, I hope we get back on track as soon as possible.
Yeah, for you, I think I know you get an academy, Peter Gade Academy. So how does it happens now with the academy and from the start of the epidemic and the lockdown?
Well, in the beginning of the, I remember before I was also attending All England with Yonex, and I had some job to do with Legends Vision and so on. But when I left Denmark, it was already starting, and we did practice at the academy for that week with special circumstances, meaning that we were already, doing special attention to keep distance and not being too close to each other. Using alcohol sanitizer, all of these things. So we did that for I think maybe 10 days before, and then I left to All England, and when I came back, everything kind of went into lockdown.
So you gave special advice to the players at your academies. You train them by Visio, or you make contact. You keep contact.
Yes, I kept contact with all the players all the way through to this period, and we tried to do, especially for the first 3 weeks. I did a lot of, and actually, I'm also one of my players. I have an appointment just after this, and we are analyzing, a match. So we are watching matches and sharing matches between the players and me and Scott Evans, who is also the coach, the assistant coach of the academy, and then we talk to the players about these matches. We ask them to prepare, analyze for the matches, and we evaluate them and we talk about them to make them more clever about these tactical parts. That's something we can do during this crisis. Then we gave out. We have 2 physical coaches as well, and we gave out a lot of videos with exercises they can do at home. Where they are not dependent on being in a fitness area, machines and things like that. And the same goes for footwork programs, cardio programs. So all of the players they've been handled tools to handle with this the best way possible. But of course, all of them are impatient now. They wanna get back on court, as me.
Of course. And how do you see this coming back on court right now? You know when it will be, and what kind of advice can you give to the people watching us about going back on court after such a stop?
Yeah, but this break is like nothing we've ever tried before. To be honest, I never tried being away from badminton more than maybe 2.5 weeks in my life. So this is by far the the most days I've ever been away from it, and I'm not a player anymore, but I know how it feels for the players, and if I was still a player, I would go crazy. So it's no matter what, when we come back on court, I don't know when it's going to be. We are still in doubt in Denmark. We are waiting for the government to come out with new directions. Hopefully after 10th of May, there will be an option for us to go back, but it will be with special circumstances. So we already put down, I already made a complicated set of rules for my players to read when they come back. And probably we will not be able to be more than 4 or 6 players with one coach in one stadium. So these are the guidelines for the first part of the coming back phase, and we have to deal with them as good as we can, and make exercises where we still keep the distance with 2 meters. That's the rule in Denmark, and that's what we have to consider. So I'm thinking about different setups on the exercises, and how we can do this. And one very important thing for the players is going to be that when they come back on court, they're going to be very impatient about their game, about how the timing, the footwork, all of these things. And to be away for 6 weeks or more from the game, it's going to take a long time to get back to normal. And I think the key in this is for the players to have a lot of patience with themselves and not demand, okay, I want everything to be perfect inside the first 7 days, because it's not going to happen. And so I expect players to be quite frustrated about themselves and their game, and say, why is my game like this now? Where is my timing? Where is and it's going to take some time before we're going to go back to normal. But hopefully also the joy about getting back and just be with the racket and the shuttle on court is more than the frustration. I hope so.
It's just the badminton has to keep being a pleasure for the players and for every player, right?
Yeah, I think we should. I think also what this Corona crisis, it should, we should learn, all of us, to appreciate how lucky we are to be able to do this sport every day. Hopefully we will also appreciate that when we come back.
Yes, right. Just to finish, about your experience in France, what kind of thing do you consider the best about your experience in France? And we all remember you came in Aix-en-Provence for special training with our young players. It's all recorded on our Facebook page. Everybody can watch it. What do you remember, or what do you keep from this experience?
Well, it's a big question, because it contains a lot of. But most when I look back at it, on the 3 years and more I had in France. First of all, I think France is definitely one of the most exciting countries in the badminton world. I had that feeling when I came to France, and I still have that feeling, that the potential in France is huge, because what I experienced coming to the different parts of France and talking to coaches, players, and the enthusiasm and the passion for badminton is on a very high place. And you have a lot of players, you have a lot of coaches who are very interested in badminton, and this is a great outset to build something. Then I also experienced that there is many different ways of seeing things, and with big parts, there's a big difference on different parts in France, and for everybody to be kind of united and to go the same way, that's a big job. And I tried the best. I tried with my abilities, to give some common guidelines, and trying to get people to look the same way, to work together. And I still believe that even though badminton is an individual sport, and you need to make space for everyone to go and feel their own way in the sport, I also believe that that France have a lot of advantage in being a very strong country, and that they should build on these values. And I think the potential still, when I look at players, and of course I follow the players, and I look at the results and see how are they doing, and I still feel the potential in France is very big, and you have some very talented players to look for in the future. And I hope that some of these players will also be kind of role models for younger players growing up now, to see them and to see, hey, it's possible to go on very high level. And you had some generations of players. Brice Livadès showed that you can beat some of the best players in the world, and now you have some very young talented players in the Popov brothers, in Arnaud Merklé and Tom Schickel, Delphine Delrue, and so these are very, very talented players that I'm sure all European countries will be very proud and very happy to have players like that, and hopefully you are able to build on that. And I learned a lot from this. Working in Denmark, we grow up as players and coaches in clubs, and we have this is kind of like it's a very traditional, how can you say, the base and the tradition here, the history here is very strong. And I think, as I told when I was interviewed in France many times, I think France have to build and make their own history and tradition with badminton, and hopefully they will be on the map, on the badminton map in the future.
Yeah, okay, we will try to innovate. So we have to innovate. We are able to do this. Thank you very much, Peter, for this interview. Do you have some last word to say to the French players who are watching us? I know they will be crazy seeing you.
First of all, I miss you guys. It was a great experience to be in France and to meet a lot of passion for badminton. So please keep that passion. And then I hope to see many French players on top of the podiums in the future.
Thank you very much, Peter. See you later. Bye bye.
À tout.